guys, one last video from Mount Yona before I start heading down. This is the application for 2B-5 mixed practice. You guys are going to go on a treasure hunt in this application looking for some buried treasure. We're going to draw upon all our skills so far from this unit to kind of review and to help us find that treasure. Alright, good luck!
Alright, so our learning target for this application is that I can solve systems of equations and inequalities. This is going to be kind of a review application for us. So, if you look at yours, you're going to have two different maps than I have. Right now, I have a map of the United States on the video. You guys have a map of Middle Earth and a map of Yoshi Island. So, I'm not going to work the exact problem for you guys this time. I'm going to work out a problem that is set up very similar and is going to follow the same structure. So I just wanted to clear that up before you ask us confused, why doesn't this map match what we have? We didn't want to do a whole half of the activity for you, but we did want to go ahead and walk you through the process. So we're going to go ahead and do this activity on a separate map, and then you guys will be able to do it as you journey through Middle Earth and Yoshi Island. So, what we are going to do is we're going to conduct an activity to hunt for a treasure buried somewhere on the map. So what we're going to look at is that we are going to be given a system of inequalities, and we're going to be asked to graph the solution on the map. And our treasure is going to be somewhere within the solution of all three of these inequalities. So I'm going to go back to the map, and I'm going to graph these three inequalities. So I'm going to graph my first one in red. My y-intercept is going to be 7, and my slope is going to be -2/5. So I have my slope and my y-intercept. Now, you notice that our grid does not have numbers, so we're going to have to count these ourselves. So my y-intercept is 7, so I'm going to have to go to the middle of the origin and count up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm going to put my mark up here in Canada, just a little bit north of Winnipeg. Now my slope is going to be -2/5, so I'm going to go down 1, 2, and to the right 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to be just north of Michigan. I'm going to do the same thing again. I'm going to go down 2, and to the right 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to be really close to Albany, New York when I graph that. Now when we look at this, our symbol is less than. We do not have the line underneath. So it's not going to be equal to. So that means we have to have a dashed line between these dots. So use your ruler to help you draw a dashed line. I don't have that tool here, so I have to do it the best I can free-handed. We do want to make sure it's dashed though. And we want to shade everything below since it is less than. So I'm going to go ahead and shade everything below that line. So this is going to give us our first set of areas their solution could be found in. Alright, I'm going to graph my next inequality in black. So on this one, my y-intercept is -2, and my slope is 1/3. So I'm going to go down to -2, which is right on the border between Kansas and Oklahoma. And I'm going to go down 1 and write 1, 2, 3. And I'm going to draw my line right there in Arkansas. I'm going to go down 1 and over 1, 2, 3. And we're in Georgia now, just a little bit southwest of Atlanta. Now this time I have the equal to in my sign, so I am going to draw a line that is going to be a solid line. So I'm going to draw that here. I'm going to stretch that line out so that it goes through all three of those points and covers the whole graph. Alright, and this time we want greater than or equal to, so we're going to shade above. Alright, so we're starting to narrow down where our solution might be. It's going to be somewhere where the red and black overlap. To narrow it down a little bit further, we're going to graph our third system. So y is greater than -3x plus 1. Our y-intercept is going to be 1, just north of Lincoln, Nebraska. And our slope is -3 over 1. Remember, if we have this as a whole number, to make it a fraction, we just put it over 1. So we're going to go down 1, 2, 3, and over 1. And we're going to go 1, 2, 3, and over 1. All right, this time it is again a solid line because we have the equal to part. So I'm going to draw this the best I can. And since it's greater than, we are going to shade everything up here. So our solutions, or our buried treasure, is going to be somewhere in this region that is shaded in both red, black, and blue. So if we go back to our question, we're asked to describe the location of the hidden treasure. Where is it physically, and where is it graphically? So physically, we're looking at the area that is shaded in all 3 colors. I'll try and highlight it a little bit here. I know we're starting to get a lot of colors on the map, so it's getting a little bit hazy, and that's changing my black to blue when I highlight it in yellow. That was unintended, but we can still see the region that we're looking at. So we're looking primarily in the Northeast United States, would be where we're looking at physically. So Northeast United States. As far as graphically, if we go back, graphically, sorry, went to the clean map, we are primarily in the first quadrant with a little bit in the fourth quadrant. So graphically, we are mainly going to say, we'll just go ahead and say it that way, mainly first quadrant. And a little bit in the fourth quadrant. Alright, so the next thing we're asked to do is give 3 points that could serve as the location of the hidden treasure. So I want to look at that map again and look at 3 spots that are in that shaded region. Alright, so I am going to look. Let's see. I can see, let's say, Columbus, Ohio can be one. It is in that shaded region. Columbus, Ohio. Oops, keep going to the wrong map. Alright, we also got, let's say, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. And let's say Richmond, Virginia. So Philadelphia, PA, and Richmond, Virginia. Alright, so we do have a couple more questions. We are asked to solve the system of equations below and solve the equation both algebraically and graphically. So algebraically, I am going to solve this using substitution. I have y by itself on both of these. So I'm going to do 2x minus 1 is equal to negative x plus 5. And what this is going to do is this is going to give me an ordered pair that precisely matches the location of our treasure. Alright, I need to move my x's to one side or the other. I like working with positive x's, so I'm going to add x to both sides. So I'm going to have 3x minus 1 is equal to 5. I'm going to have to add 1 to both sides. So I get 3x is equal to 6. Divide both sides by 3. And I get x is equal to 2. Have to plug back in and find y. Y is equal to 2 times the value 2 that we now know for x. So y is equal to 4 minus 1. So y is equal to 3. So we're going to look at the ordered pair 2, 3. So we'll go back to our map. and we're going to go to point. I'm going to go back to the clean map, that way we can see it a little bit better. We're going to go to the point 2, 3. So we went over 2 and up 1, 2, 3. And so it looks like we're going to be just outside St. Paul on the Minnesota-Wisconsin line. So we're going to be just outside St. Paul. On the Minnesota and Michigan line. All right, so, sorry, Wisconsin, not Michigan. So cross out Michigan and put Wisconsin. Now, just to make sure that this is in our solution set, we're going to go back to this map, go up to our point where we just had, and we can see that that is indeed in our region that is shaded in both red, blue, and black. All right, so also, if we were to solve graphically, I'm not going to do that to help keep the video a little bit shorter, but you will need to solve this graphically again as well. You would just graph these on your map. You would graph 2x minus 1 and y is equal to negative x plus 5. Alright, so go ahead and follow this procedure for your 2 treasures, and good luck hunting those treasures. Let us know if we can do anything to help you out. This is the last application for Unit 2B, so once you are finished with this application and mastery check, pick up a study guide and start preparing for the 2B test. See you in Unit 2C.